It was a town that wore its calm like armor. Streets were lined with neat brick houses, trimmed lawns, and the soft laughter of children drifting from playgrounds. Neighbors waved as they passed each other, doors were unlocked, and the rhythm of ordinary life beat steadily. Yet, beneath that serene surface moved a darkness so subtle that no one could see it. That darkness had a name: Thomas Gray. To the casual observer, Thomas was ordinary, polite, punctual, helpful. He worked at the hardware store, smiled at neighbors, carried groceries, and offered advice. On the surface, he belonged entirely to the fabric of the town. But beneath that calm exterior, a mind worked tirelessly, observing, cataloging, and planning. Every habit, every vulnerability, every routine of those around him was noted and stored like pieces of a puzzle. His first wife, Laura, was young, trusting, and full of life. Their early marriage was filled with laughter, shared dreams, and quiet evenings. But Thomas was already at work. Small manipulations, minor tests of boundaries, subtle observations. He cataloged everything. One evening, Laura fell down the stairs. A loose carpet edge, a faint sedative slipped into her tea, everything timed perfectly. Neighbors mourned, friends called it a tragedy. Thomas grieved with careful precision, hiding the satisfaction of a perfectly executed plan. He had learned the first rule of survival in darkness: grief can conceal guilt. Months passed. Thomas blended seamlessly into life. His second wife, Melissa, admired his calm, intelligence, and charm. Yet even she could not escape the careful orchestration of his life. One night, her car veered off the road. Investigators called it driver error. Small manipulations, subtle brake adjustments, minor distractions remained invisible to authorities. Once more, Thomas played the grieving, shocked husband, attending funerals, comforting friends, smiling at neighbors. His dual existence remained unseen. By the time he met Emily, Thomas had perfected the mask. Emily was intelligent, cautious, perceptive, but even she could not see the full depth of danger. Early months were peaceful: walks in the park, dinners at home, weekend visits to family. Gradually, anomalies appeared. Objects moved inexplicably. Odd phone calls arrived late at night. The feeling of being watched grew heavier. One evening, while tidying his study, Emily discovered a hidden compartment. Inside were journals meticulously chronicling his previous marriages, routines, weaknesses, fears, and the deaths themselves. Reading them, Emily felt her stomach churn. The man she married was not ordinary. He was a predator, hiding in plain sight for years, cataloging lives, planning deaths, observing vulnerabilities. Emily contacted the authorities. Thomas's carefully constructed world began to unravel. Forensic investigators discovered previously overlooked chemical traces. Security footage revealed subtle manipulations, once dismissed as coincidences. Behavioral analysts mapped his obsessive patterns, revealing a meticulous, controlled, and cruel mind. Psychologists later described Thomas as a master manipulator and psychopath, charming on the surface, monstrous underneath. Friends, neighbors, co-workers all struggled to reconcile their memories of a helpful, polite man with the reality revealed by evidence. Some wept openly. Others silently questioned every interaction they had shared. The trial revealed layers of horror. Emily recounted late-night whispers, unexplained movements, minor threats disguised as jokes, and the growing sense of surveillance she had once dismissed. Investigators meticulously reconstructed his life, exposing the terrifying extent of his manipulations. Thomas's satisfaction was not derived from passion or anger. It came from control, observation, and secrecy. He had studied, tested, and executed his plans with chilling precision. Neighbors revisited subtle oddities they had previously dismissed: his intense attention to children at play, fascination with minor accidents, the cold calculation behind his polite smile. Psychologists explained that Thomas's mind was built to blend in, manipulate perception, and conceal malevolence in ordinariness. Even after incarceration, the shadow of Thomas Gray lingered. The town remained scarred. Families revisited gestures, smiles, interactions, questioning what had been real. Children who once waved at him now hesitated. Adults who had trusted him wondered how they could have been blind. Emily's bravery stopped him, but the echoes of fear persisted. Thomas's story is a lesson in vigilance. The most dangerous predators often hide behind ordinary faces. The Silent Stalker is a tale of murder, manipulation, and calculation. It is a reminder that evil can exist quietly, patiently, invisibly, in the places we least suspect. Even after conviction, discussions among psychologists, journalists, and townspeople continued. How could someone so normal harbor decades of meticulous violence? How many missed opportunities for detection had there been? Emily's courage stopped him, but the psychological scars remained. Streets once familiar now felt haunted. Investigators continued to analyze Thomas Gray's past, uncovering small incidents that once seemed insignificant. Neighbors recalling odd coincidences, co-workers remembering minor manipulations, friends realizing the uncomfortable obsession behind his politeness. Each detail painted a picture of a man whose obsession with control surpassed the imagination. Emily's life changed irrevocably. She became an advocate for victims, speaking publicly about the subtleties of manipulation, the hidden dangers of psychopathy, and the importance of trusting one's instincts. Her testimony ensured Thomas would never harm another person. The Silent Stalker is a story of patient horror, deception, manipulation, and survival. It reminds us that the most dangerous monsters often are invisible, ordinary, silent, and that even in the calmest, most peaceful communities, darkness can exist, quietly watching, waiting for opportunity, and that courage, vigilance, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths are the only shields against the silent predators walking among us.